Now that we have defined the PR function, let's talk a little bit about the roles performed by PR practitioners. Roles may broadly be categorized into strategic and tactical. Strategy is more managerial, as we said earlier. So the strategic function focuses on planning a public relations framework for the organization driven by data and in conversation with senior management in the organization. So in strategy, you're really laying out the specific steps in conversation with management, you're justifying the steps and connecting them to data. The tactical function, on the other hand, relates to the creation of PR products that we often usually see and identify as PR. Tasks such as creating press releases, planning events, or posting on Twitter are examples of tactical functions that you perform. Now, PR practitioners perform some combination of strategy and tactical functions. You are always not going to just do one thing, you're going to switch between those two different kinds of functions. Most entry-level PR jobs involve tactical work. That's how you're going to begin. In other words, you would be expected to monitor media, maybe do press clippings and assemble media clips, develop press releases, build relationships with the media, implement various parts of an event, or run specific elements of the Facebook or the Twitter page of the organization. Take these jobs seriously, because you will learn quite a bit on the go as you perform these jobs. With greater experience, you will likely move on to carrying out more strategic functions, but of course you will have to demonstrate your critical and analytical thinking skills and your ability to problem solve. Now, the public relations function is either carried out in-house, which is within the organization, such as IBM has its own PR team within the organization, or is contracted out to a PR firm or a full service communication company which delivers PR functions as well. Now, in-house public relations departments typically have a range of positions, from entry-level technical positions to more supervisory positions to manager, director, and then executive. Now, the communication department of an organization typically will perform a wide range of functions such as media relations, communication strategy, crisis communication, communication policy, executive communication, reputation management, internal or employee communication, social media, internet communication, preparing the annual report, issues management, and community relations. The executive heading the communication department holds the title of manager, director, or vice president. The Arthur W. Page Society, now this is a key society that does an excellent job in terms of doing advocacy work for PR and the PR industry, frames the title of the leader of communication as the Chief Communication Officer, or CCO. Now, the relationship of the PR department with organizational leadership plays a vital role in shaping the degree of influence of PR in the organization. PR departments that are closely aligned with the organization's mission and vision typically tend to exert greater influence within the organization. For most Fortune 500 companies, the PR function is a strategic function rather than a tactical function. In the structure of IBM, for instance, John Iwata, a graduate of the Public Relations degree program at San Jose State University, heads as the Senior VP of Marketing, Communications, and Citizenship Division. All communication, marketing, and operation functions report through him. So let's listen to Mr. Iwata in terms of how he defines the role of the Chief Communication Officer, particularly as he envisions this role in the future. So here's Mr. Iwata.
I think the organizations that we lead are going to have to change dramatically, and we see this. It's very logical. In a world of 24-hour news cycles, where you used to go out and pick up the newspaper on your driveway, which seems like 100 years ago now it's a world of immediacy, and our expectations as consumers through digital touch points is one of, I expect the web experience or the app experience to be personalized. I expect you to know me. I expect you to remember every interaction I've had with you in the past. And I expect that experience to be improved all the time. Think about what has to happen inside of companies behind that digital experience. It means that our teams and our organizations have to be constantly monitoring those interactions, making them better, improving them based on our actual knowledge captured through data of what you're doing, what you're looking for, what you're expecting. This is a revolution of culture, of processes, of clock speed, and of mindset. And it's not about changing an org chart, it's about changing the cultures of the teams we lead.
I love what Mr. Rewata says about the need to evolve, about the need for change, and about the CCO needing to adapt. Here's another conversation with Mike Buckley of Facebook on the role of the CCO for the future. Let's listen to him.
The future role of the CCO is certainly going to evolve in a number of ways. I think being a complete business strategist, broadly speaking, is one, which means knowing the language of finance, of product, of legal and risk, of boards, but also increasingly of data and data analytics and using data analytics to help you do your function. So I certainly think over the next 5 years, an appreciation and use of data to measure and provide a means of ROI to your management teams is going to be absolutely critical. Second, almost all businesses are going to have to seek growth in international markets. Certainly any company that's approaching any maturity in the United States is going to look abroad for growth. So having an appreciation for and an understanding of international customs, languages, cultures, communities is going to become increasingly important. The final thing that I would say, and it's a little bit related to data, I think that the CCO will have to manage more different types of people. It's not going to be just journalists and communicators or former politicians or former reporters anymore. It's also going to be data scientists and engineers to help design products and services that impact the bottom line.
So what qualities do these industry leaders envision as the ingredients for success in the future? You heard the key points that they laid out. Being conversant with data. I've been repeating that again and again. Being able to understand diversity, diverse cultures, diverse ways of doing things, diverse ways of communicating. Being open to diversity. So letting these conversations change you, transform you. And working with diverse teams of engineers, designers, statisticians, communicators, etc. are the key strengths for the Chief Communication Officer of the future. You really have to develop an integrated approach that is dynamic, that is evolving, and that is responsive to a changing climate. Most importantly, you have to remember to be flexible as a communicator.